Dr. Swift, can you tell us about what's going on in the Ann Arbor Public Schools?
I would love to do so, Madam President. Thank you. Well, good evening, trustees, and those who are joining us in person. It's great to have you with us, and those who are joining from remote. We're so delighted this week to have our students back from Thanksgiving break. Thanksgiving is a short break, but we miss our students while they're gone, and we're always delighted when they come back. I really deeply appreciate the commitment of our students, teachers, staff, and leaders. I just see folks really making the most of every day for learning when I'm out in our schools. And I appreciate the partnership of our parents and our community. We are making progress every day. And this particular year, trustees, you've probably noticed, is a little bit longer period of time between Thanksgiving and winter break. So I really am seeing our teachers and our classrooms hitting a rhythm. And for me, it is nice to have it be a little bit longer time so that we can focus on learning. I was delighted to hear this week about the Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation Education Fund Awards that went out to Ann Arbor Public Schools teachers. I'm always delighted and grateful, as I know you are, trustees. This week, the AAACF announced the recipients of the 2022 Education Fund Awards, and it's a total of $18,940 awarded to 13 AAPS projects submitted by teachers. So these are teacher submissions, teacher projects, and funded at the teacher level. The projects ranged widely from STEM and literacy at Abbott to a book club at Scarlett and the Actors Studio at Pathways. We're just thrilled to receive the support for innovative teacher ideas that benefit our students at all levels. Many thanks to our Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation. This week, we are delighted on our A2 Schools podcast to feature Mr. Emil Lautzana. He is making all of the stops this week, as you can see, trustees, and he'll be talking on the podcast with Mr. Cluley and I more about the environmental sustainability framework. So if you've not done so, you can download the A2 Schools podcast at Apple Podcast. It's easy to find. Just Google A2 Schools and you'll see it there. We also, if you want to keep up with our activities in the district, we are on Twitter, on Facebook, on the podcast, and on our YouTube channel. And there's lots of good stuff going on there every day for folks who are wondering what we're up to in the Ann Arbor Public Schools. Just a friendly reminder to parents and staff. We do want to update all of our contact information in preparation for inclement weather mornings. So parents, if you've moved or changed cell phones or something has changed in your profile, just get a hold of that school OP who will be happy to help you and make sure that you're fully updated and connected before we have our initial inclement weather activities. The weather changed quite a bit during the day today, so it feels like time to think about these things. Well, trustees, I'm very sad to say today was the 1-year anniversary of the Oxford, Michigan tragedy, and I know that we are all extending our deepest sympathies to the victims and their families, the Oxford school team, and everyone who's been impacted by this tragic event a year ago. And not only that, trustees, but additional events every day, it seems like. Over 600 gun violence attacks just this year. So it's always an important time to review the steps that we are taking to keep our students and staff safe. Trustees, I won't go through the entire update that I plan to share with parents this week, but I do want to hit some highlights because I am hearing from parents frequently and from staff, and we just want to revisit and reassure the approach that we take to student and staff safety. The number one priority that we have in the Ann Arbor Public Schools, student and staff safety, even before our most critical mission of teaching and learning. So our team works together every day with the support and partnership of law enforcement, mental health agencies, and numerous other community partners to ensure that we're doing everything we can to support the health, well-being, and safety of our students and staff. So we've had a couple of situations during October and now this week, another one where concerns may arise either in a school or on social media channels. Just want to reassure our community that our school teams, our district ITD team, our leadership teams, both school leadership and district leadership, the AAPD, FBI, and various other law enforcement agencies, we all mobilize immediately to process when a concern emerges. So I do appreciate all the emails that I received last weekend from folks making us aware, and we do watch your messages and we respond immediately. These processes of responding to concerns go on 24 hours a day, 365. There are always these concerns working in our system. We are always monitoring to understand the nature, the level, the origin of any concerns as they arise. And I do want to give a shout out to our ITD team. Mr. Michael Hogue helps us here on Wednesday nights, but they have literally been on 24/7 schedule to monitor and help us. I know Sunday night they were up throughout the night addressing one issue that we were monitoring, and I always know that they're on top of every concern that arises. All of these teams continue to work through the investigation. I do want to reassure the community and our students and our staff that we will move forward with processes to hold those involved responsible for their actions. That is our priority on student safety. That's what it demands, and it's also what the law requires. So just as the chief sat alongside me and said almost a year ago in our video that we made, and I appreciate that the chief will be updating that video with me shortly, along with Liz Margolis. But we do follow through, and the charges for those who post or share threats are very, very serious. So we do invite our parents to help us out by having that teachable moment with your students at home so that they understand that these are very serious matters. Now, most of the time, these processes of investigation will clear the threat overnight, but there are times when school closure can be one of many steps that are taken out of an abundance of caution. I want to also touch on, I received a lot of email wanting us to share the details of the case. And there are times when we are not free and able to share all of those details. When we are, when that case has wrapped and we have permission, we will follow up so that our parents are aware of the outcome. But there are times when we're not able to, and of course, we're going to work with law enforcement and support them all the way through the investigation, including the referral of cases for prosecution. I shared with you, trustees, you all are briefed fully at every step of the process, but I think you're aware one of the cases was at a court hearing this week to be held accountable for some of the actions that have occurred over recent weeks. So often parents will ask, well, what about a concern with a student? How do we address that concern? I just want to remind everyone that our teachers, you saw some of them on the big screen tonight, our teachers, our counselors, our social workers, our principals, everyone on that school team is closely monitoring our students. We're proud of the work we do to watch over them and to notice signs of distress or trauma or mental health challenges, and whether an individual student's actions may signal a concern about self-harm or harm to others. We have well-trained teams and we have community partnerships and supports who will assess and support students in real time. We will always act on reports of concerning behaviors or any alleged threats. So I ask you, please make us aware. You know the phrase, if you see something, say something. That's what we ask our students to do and our parents to help us out with as well. So we do encourage student, peers, teachers, staff, and parents to report any observed signs that a student may display, as well as report on students who may be withdrawing from their typical affect at school. Now, we talk about triaging and supporting students. That's what we do at school every day. We use an assessment protocol. It was developed in partnership with the U of M School of Psychiatry, Community Health, and the University of Michigan Psychological Emergency Services. Often, the community mental health crisis team is supporting our school team in assessing immediate needs of the students. Now, while we ask everyone to support each other and to let us know when you see signs of distress, we're also asking students to not do about 3 things. And I know our principals are helping out to make sure that students understand these important do not do. We're asking that if they have a concern, students let their parents know, or parents let us know. We're asking, I'm sorry, I need to go to this. We're asking do not repost concerning social media posts or other threats. And you'll see the public service announcement coming out. It is a problem to repost a threat. That is also a concern. So please do not do that. Do not spread misinformation or information that is not being confirmed by school or law enforcement. We will report directly to law enforcement, and we will communicate to students and parents what we find that we are allowed to share. I promise you, we will act vigorously to protect the health and safety of our students, staff, and school community if there is a concern. We continue to update our Alice Intruder protocol, and most importantly, we will remain in close communication as we work together toward our number one goal, keeping our students and staff connected, healthy, and safe, and growing at school. So I thank you, trustees. I know that you get texts morning, noon, and night, and I appreciate holidays and weekends, and I appreciate your patience and your support in helping to keep our students safe. And thank you to our parents, our students, our staff, and thank you for all of your support and for this focus. You know, safe, quality community schools are a community endeavor, and I just appreciate everyone participating. And again, we send our deepest condolences to our neighbors in Oxford today. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Swift.